certainly was resilience,
Right.
which is the word that everybody's relating to, and the people were coping. We were so touched by their coping and their resilience. On top of that, however, or rather underneath that, was a lot of sadness. When we heard so many people say, I lost 13 people in my family, I lost 40 people in my family. My wife died, my children died. This sadness of men who were, or even mothers or fathers who were holding their children under both arms, and then a wave would come and the children would be just taken from their arms. And they'd turn around and they're gone. So that kind of a loss, and then loss of their livelihood, their loved ones, their livelihood, their homes, everything gone, and is just a major devastation. And the people were very wonderful and warm, and underneath that are these feelings that we really were there to help them to process. Many, many fears of going back to the sea, as you can imagine, because that was the source of it. That was the source of their livelihood, and that was the cause of the problem. So we had to address that, and many nightmares. What people in that area normally talk about is a physical problem, a headache or a stomach ache. But underneath that is the panic and the fear.
Now there's 5 groups that went to Sri Lanka.
The 5th group is there now.
Okay, you were the first group in February?
We were the first group in February, and the project will continue until August.
Okay, so we have a clip from the first group, right?
Yes. Very nice meeting you. She can just focus on us. So we heard that not too many mental health specialists are in the area that we're going to be going, and we organize. Particularly
tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Oh, here we are. There's more of us.
Problem with space.
No, they can stand up. We're not going to be long because we're going to the Ministry of Health. We just wanted to introduce the group.
Christine, and this is Nicole, and this is Hashara, and Hashara is from Colombo.
So we wanted to kind of introduce ourselves and the project and see how we can be of help to the already overwhelmed system, how we can help. Because our group is not the end. We have 30 volunteers that team number 2 will be coming and meeting us our last day. We'll be training them, orienting them to the process. And then team number 3 is ready to come on March 8th, meeting team number 2 and getting the orientation and working here 3 weeks. So we have several teams, and we wanted to collaborate with you on this.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi,
Hello. They have just come today.
Today, this morning we arrived.
I see.
Yes. And since the tsunami that has hurt our really our hearts, everybody is sad, and we express our sadness and condolences for all the losses you've had. And we've made a call to our community, professional psychologists, and we had over 32 people that right away, before New Year's, expressed interest to join us.
We have a psychosocial support team here, so you be welcome to participate in part of their programs also.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Very happy to do
I'm
that.
looking forward to that. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the
very
time.
nice. Thank you
with
very
us.
much for coming to Sri Lanka and helping us.
Thank
All
you.
your concerns, your love and affection towards Sri Lanka is very much appreciated.
Did you have contact with these individuals before?
Yes,
Right,
definitely. We tried to.
And how was the communication with them?
Well,
telephone calls,
there
emails?
was some, emails, phone calls, letters, faxes, and
that was easy to set up the. How did you initially set up the communication?
No,
and
it
choose the
wasn't
right people
as
to talk to?
easy. It was just we were blessed with. I guess the universe, gave us these gifts. People just kept on calling and saying they wanted to help. And all of a sudden, the last day, we didn't have an appointment with the Minister of Health. The last day, a Sinhali person called and said, we want to help, I want to help, what can I do? And her father turned around, and her father is working with the Minister of Health. So we were able to set the appointment right away because we didn't have time to waste. We had limited days, and we had to meet these
authorities the first day of our arrival before we go the 10 hours that Judy just talked about to Batikalo.
Did you need their approval to go
Well,
to
of
the
course,
different
well,
areas?
yes, we need their approval.
Many groups and people did go just as soon as they heard. This happens in many disasters, that
Independently.
people will just fly there and go, and they bring things and toys, and they bring, you know, individual items or medical supplies, and then they disappear. The most important part of the mental health outreach project is what is called the continuity of care. The fact that the teams were ongoing, that we had translators who were stable, so that the people knew we were there for a longer period of time, not just, you know, here's a toy, goodbye.
Right. I believe we have a second clip now that we're going to talk about. Maybe you could tell us.
The next clip is about our meeting after we got the blessing of the Minister of Health and the United Nations officials. We went to Batikalo, where we met with the psychosocial rehabilitator, a coordinator of the rehabilitators program, and he came from England. He's a Sinhali individual who took a 6-month leave of absence from his doctoral education and came to help.
Today we've got a meeting with the psychosocial coordinator of particular region.
Nice to meet you. Mrs. Gunnison. And help type up stuff. That would be
I read that you are the only psychiatrist for all this 0.6 million people.
Not for the 0.6 million. I'm the only psychiatrist for 0.6 million plus 0.7 million in Ampara district and about 0.4 million in Trincomalee district. So
that makes about 1.5 million or something more than million and a half.
Yes.
What is that like for you to work in that?
It's all I mean. Before tsunami.
Yes, and now I can imagine it multiplied, if not more.
I came to work here in 2000, and before that there was no psychiatrist for 20 years.
And you came from where?
Well, I was working in Colombo and I was working in UK for 2 years.
I see. Well, that's, I mean, coming back and serving your community, I really admire your dedication. So we had to meet with him because he was knowledgeable of what other mental health activities were going on. And we found out the only other activities that there was a group of 10-member group, Sinhali and Tamil mixed group that came from all over the country, Sri Lanka country, island. They came to help the community.
Right.
So that was the only thing. So we collaborated and worked with the Shade. It's the name of the group.
Oh, I see. And all the other groups that are going to Sri Lanka or have gone to, 1 through 5, are they going to the same areas, treating different individuals, or treating the same individuals?
They're going to the
steps?
same Batikalo area.
Right.
They use the same methodology, the 6-step biopsychosocial and spiritual model, it's called, that we founded since our work in Armenia. And then what happens is that some people would work with the second and third and fourth team if they're still suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, having nightmares, having any unpleasant symptoms. They will work with the second and third, continue working. It depends. It's self-selective. We're not. We're just offering this group meetings to them, so everyone is free to participate.
Okay.
And what we discovered, in fact, was that for the people who initially came to the groups that we ran with the psychosocial local group and, and training the translators, the word would spread. And then everybody wanted to be part of the group. Because they realized the most important bottom line is, besides the 6-step program that was described so perfectly here, is that we cared. People said you cared enough to come all the way from America to be here with us.
Exactly. That was very emotional.
And that in itself is
a healing process.
Before starting the 6 steps.
Sure.
That's great. And I think we have a third clip. Can you talk about the third clip?
Yes. In the third clip, we are actually showing parts of the 6-step process in the group setting. We're working with adult groups, we're working with the children in art therapy, and we're going through the steps, giving information, listening to their expression of feelings, listening to their stories. It was very interesting. In the beginning, since they didn't have a notion of what these